Hey guys, welcome to Hello Mechanic. Today we're going to be talking about the Ferrari PTU accumulator. We've done quite a few videos on the PTU. We're just trying to help with the diagnosis and the big picture of how these things operate so that you at your shop or you at home that own the car can understand what's going on. So today what we're going to do is we're going to cover what's most important to all of you is how do you know it's bad and how do you replace it. But then we're going to go on to kind of talk about how it fits in this grand scheme of the operation of the PTU and some of the errant faults or non-related faults you may see as a result of this PTU accumulator. Okay, so first of all, how do you know that it's bad? Well, you'll hear when you key on the car but don't start it, you may hear the pump going like this. It really could be even louder than that and more quick. That car ended up having burned up the relay and drained the battery because of it trying to run so much while they're diagnosing it. But you may get a sound just like that. If you're looking at the live values, you'll see it go from like 30 bar to 80 bar in an instant. Like, which is not possible with an accumulator. It'll just spike the pressure and then go down and spike again. So those are really the things to look at. If you do take the accumulator off, you can put something down in it that's smooth, not sharp, but smooth in the end, but very thin, that can just see if there's a diaphragm there. You may be able to go all the way to the bottom of the chamber. You can see it go all the way to the bottom. You know, okay, it's torn and there's nothing we can do about it. Now, how do you repair? Right here behind the front bumper, you take the front bumper cover off and it threads in right there. So it's kind of tight in the space there. Make sure you have no pressure in the system when you take that off. If you have no pressure, you can guarantee that by disconnecting the battery with the hood open and coming back to the car a couple hours later. When you take this loose, then no fluid will come out. We have one here with the full reservoir, no fluids pouring out of it. As long as the rest of the system's closed up, you should not have any problems changing it. Very easy to do. I think it's a 24 millimeter nut on the top of it there. So very simple to do. And that is actually the storage. It's connected right to the pump, and the pump stores energy. So when it's failed, there's no way to store the energy, and that air has escaped from that diaphragm, is now, in this case, left the system, and the pump is now trying to compress fluid, which is non-compressible, and so that's sending a spike in pressure. So if you're watching on live data, you should have a fault for accumulator performance, but you may not. And if you watch the pressure live of the system, the hydraulic system pressure, you'll see it jump to 80 bar, which is the maxed out pressure of the sensor used to read the system pressure. So it basically maxes out the pressure, drops to a low number, and then maxes out the pressure again. Okay. Let's see other ways to know that it's bad. Yeah, that's pretty much all you need to know about that. As far as the operation of, do you have an accumulator? Well, if this were not there, the pump would have to run very consistently, basically, to get all of your operations, your shifts, your clutch actuations. So what happens is, instead of it running constantly and not being able to keep a steady pressure, is that it builds up pressure over time into that accumulator, and then it's able to engage, the left or right clutch or the reverse gear, or up there you can see the bleeder for the first and second gear. So those operate a lot. The pump doesn't have to run consistently. How does that play in more into the system? Well, when you open the car door or you key on, if there are no faults on the dash, then the clutch pump or the pump of the PTU will run for a certain amount of time and charge up that ball, and then it'll stop. Okay. That's actually how your car knows if you have low fluid due to leaks, or it's also the reason why, if your car's battery is low, it'll tell you you have low fluid, because the car is programmed to know how long that pump should run before it reaches its pressure. And if it takes too long, then it'll say, hey, you must be low on fluid. There's no fluid level sensor. And if it's due to a bad battery, you can replace the battery. Or if it's a low battery due to sitting, you can just start the car, run it for a while, turn it off, start it again. And that low fluid fault will go away. And it's usually accompanied by an electrical system fault if you have that situation code. But if you do have a low fluid level in that reservoir, just beware. You may not have a problem with the accumulator. You probably have a leak internally, need to fix the shift forks or some other leak. And then try to test the PTU again before just replacing the accumulator. You could get errant faults from that. That's basically it. The accumulator is a battery. It's a storage of energy that's put into the hydraulic fluid by the pump, and it disperses it, and when that diaphragm tears, it releases that nitrogen into the system, which then escapes, and now you have no battery, no storage, and the pump cannot run. You may need to check your relay for the pump as well. Sometimes they'll get too hot and melt and get damaged because of the accumulator going bad and the car not catching it for some reason. So just keep all that in mind. If you need them, I stock at least 5 or 6 at all times. I think we have 7 of them right now. 2 are committed to another car. So yeah, we try to keep 5 on hand. They're not on our store yet at hollywoodmechanic.com, but if you need them, just, you know, Google Hollywood Mechanic Ventura County or Thousand Oaks, and you will find our website, hollywoodmechanic.com, or our business number through that Google search, and you'll be able to text us or email us, and we can get those onto you pretty quickly.